Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at a pro gameplay from the Gold League, which is the second highest league of the Poly Champions League, which if you don't know is a league of competitive Polytopia, which you should definitely check out. I'll put a link down in the description. So we're going to take a look at this game, which is a 3v3. It is SNLX, Sunflower in Dreamland and Geberzoid versus me, Gato Azul, and JD, or just me too late. So let's take a look at the spawns real quick. I spawned up here, which is really nice because Polaris is kind of isolated and it takes time to get going. It is also the lowest point of these tribes, and such is Vangear as well. There's quite a lot of space for most people to expand. The weird bit is here in the center with all of this water, which really hampered the expansion of this Hudrik here. Gato was also kind of, well, in the middle of nowhere. And yeah, so how we're going to do this is we're going to take a look at mostly my perspective, because otherwise the analysis of this game will take far too long. And if you want to see more of these pro replays, you should let me know in the comments down below. Alright, so we have quite a sensible opener from most of these tribes. I don't think there's anything too interesting. I'm also going to turn on the replay fog and yeah, let's turn on the shared fog as well. Kind of standard openers. Nothing too interesting to see. We do get to see a short little scuffle against between these tribes for this village, which, well, Hudrik has the advantage because it is easier at putting pressure on the opponent. But for the most part, we have kind of a tame early game that really sets the stage for the rest of this game. So we're going to speed up a bit. And what we are going to see here is that we basically have three loose 1v1s going on. Samanti versus Polaris. Umaji. That is not Umaji. That is Yadak versus Hudrik. And Hudrik versus Vangear. And as you'll see, these two 1v1s do kind of end up being a 2v2 in the end. And we also see a turn 7 centipede coming up, which is really scary. So we're going to start right there. So as you can see, we have captured a couple of cities. And we managed to train ourselves a Mooney, which is going to be able to defend both of these cities against the centipede from being sieged. The opponent manages to see that coming, and they go instead for this. It's really not great to see your teammate struggling against a centipede on turn 8, but we have kind of a lot of things that we can start doing here. The main thing is run away and try to bait them into hitting the warrior here. So that is what we do, and works out perfectly. So what we do is, oh, we get trade. By the way, this game features an ice bank. Nice spoilers. Get a border growth, population growth. Get rid of that. And freeze both of these units, being able to stop them from taking this city, which is going to be very, very important. So that our Samanti here is not going to be able to press their advantage against us. Smack that centipede head a couple of times, as well as provide more support, because JD is having a lot of struggle currently expanding their territory. Take an Explorer, which was a risky one, but it does end up revealing Hudrik to me. as well as Vengir. Really gambling on these, let's see, on these explorers early on has helped tremendously in being able to win this game. So that is really nice. Let's turn on the shared fog again. We see this battle going on over here for a while, and JD is going to get a couple of giants in order to, well, try to press against either Hudrick or Samanti now that we're still in the lead with regards to villages. So this is a 3v1, 2, 3, 4 cities, and this is 2v4, which is not great. 4v4 as well. So it's really kind of equal on all sides so far. And I think from here it is going to get really interesting. You see a lot of stars from the Samanti player here. They get free spirit, they get surprise. Dumuxes all over the place is what that's gonna mean. We managed to get rid of that. Finally send out a unit to get this city here. As well as... Wait, I mean, that is just going to be compensating for the fact that they are going to get another village as well. That spiritualism actually managed to come up useful as well. Not much interesting stuff. We kind of see a standoff going on between these two tribes. Both of them digging in basically for World War I kind of experience, which really isn't great. And you'll see that a lot more in professional gameplay, where two people are just in a standoff until one person breaks the other. But the real action is actually happening over here. As you can see, they are making hexapod spam work once again. Get ice fishing. Get some stars. Grab that city. Ice bank. Doing work. Get our Gami. Just ecoing a lot. Take a look at how long this turn takes. It's incredible. Get a kill. You can also just siege their city here for free. I think that is a misplay, which they didn't account for. You take an explorer, which is going to give them plenty of vision on me, but it just falls short of getting the lighthouse. Eco difference is not that massive, but we do give the air to JD in order to claim this village. Pull off another siege, but really what I'm doing here is just ecoing up, training a bunch of units in order to defend against this, and when the time is right, we are going to strike. Because as Sun Tzu said, let your plans be as dark as night, and when you attack, fall like a thunderbolt. The man really had his knowledge on Polytopia right. Scary stuff. We see the siege going on. I don't know why they sacrificed their guy here. I think it's actually kind of bad because it was body blocking, and we may honestly not have been able to unsiege. So kind of questionable in my taste, but... So we get polarism because we have the economy to do so, and we're going to get sieged a lot for the next couple of turns, which we are going to address slowly but surely, because actually defending your cities is usually more cost effective than attacking, but you need to attack in order to gain territory, which is how you win the game. You see a bit of an attack here in the center. And this standoff is something I probably won't mention too much anymore, because as you'll see, there's not really that much going on. So let's continue. Bunch of value for these hexapods. Nice attack. Okay, just freeze. Freeze, freeze, freeze. Don't kill it, because then they get an unfrozen head, which is not really what you would like to get. Save up some stars. Wait until the next turn. As you can see, I'm just in a very defensive position here, with just very cheap riders against these expensive units. So we are just saving up stars and upgrading our economy in order to, well, be able to attack. Get the value where we can, as you can see. This is a very long turn, and it is, I think that this is the turn where we are going to pull off something amazing. Get the monument from a city that was hidden over here all this time. And what we do here is we break this ice, and as you can see, we have Ram Dingler started playing the Battle of Polytopia. Congratulations to Ram Dingler for winning the Yadak qualifiers. That's your intermezzo. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. As you can see, we break this ice. We basically surround this Mooney, because what we want to do is exactly this. Push that Mooney, because now it can freeze both of these units. And we also have a Gami now, and that is going to be helpful in attacking through these units. Like I said, I was upgrading my economy, setting up for a big play once they couldn't really attack into it. There we go. We just have a bunch of freezing units, which are going to be attacking into Samanti, which is something you don't see all that often. Samanti usually, I would say, has the advantage. Oh, by the way, they get trade, and, well, Gato is going to get trade eventually as well. There was also this plan that I was going to get knights and go all the way around. It didn't really get all that far, but I think that was kind of funny. So what does the opponent do? Because they are kind of stuck, and they had to deal with these units before they can actually start attacking again. This is a bunch of units being sacrificed, but is that really going to be enough? They can't push their units through. It's just stuck. Just bully them with the riders and attack in with the Gami. We have a line of riders just being ready to assault whatever defensive position Samanti is going to come up with, as well as finally start attacking into Hudrik, which is currently our main problem because they have bombers. You know, Samanti is kind of easy to deal with once you have enough units, but bombers are good counter against getting a bunch of units. We also see cloaks. Look at that economy. It's actually funny to see that the two tribes that have the lowest point score actually being the ones that had the best economy, as well as probably the most military victories, which I think is kind of silly, but it's also kind of nice. I love playing Polaris for this reason. They can just be so weird to play against. Yeah, so here we go, chivalry time. Get a bunch of more value. Finally get rid of that centipede head, as well as that Dumux. Position our units in such a way that we are going to be able to freeze a pathway towards the opponent. They're going to siege, that's fine. We are also distracting using Yadak's units in order to create a diversion so that the cloaks are going to be able to hit this city, which looks like a very juicy target. They're also pouring a lot of resources into killing that giant. We do give them a free kill, free siege, which is kind of unfortunate. Not really a great moment to be attacking right now because there's just nothing to chain. You know, but the nice thing about not having any units there is, well, there's no units there because they're gone. I had to sacrifice them into that giant. We still have a bunch of economy, so we just train a couple more knights. And you can see what's going on here. Their defenses are crumbling, and they are losing their city advantage here. We also just have this setup here. Remember when I said spiritualism can actually be useful? Spiritualism was useful here. So the only thing that was going to chain through here was not going to be knights, but cloaks rather. Economy difference, 12 stars per turn versus 36. Stars don't win you games, but, well, units do. And units that steal stars are actually even better. See them pop another super unit, but they're already sacrificing everything. We're also just getting a free siege. I mean, they can steal that. We get rid of their bomber because we managed to coordinate in such a way that I actually asked JD to put a road down here, or here, so that my roads actually link up in such a way that I can chain through into Hoodric's territory, which is going to allow me to attack, whereas JD would be supporting my attacks with cloaks, which is really nice. I think that that is kind of the cool thing about playing multiplayer games in team games, where you can go totally different paths so that you can support each other with the different technologies. We just move in our units. If you don't have anything to kill, don't make the mistake of overextending. Just move them in as far as you can. And also, I think, yeah, right here. There's a misplay somewhere. I don't remember exactly what happened. But the opponent could unsiege here by doing the right actions, and they didn't. Which we guessed resulted in the fact that they resigned here. Or at least this one player did. And with all of these cities being sieged, it is going to be really hard and difficult for them to get a comeback in. So Wenger is going to start sieging their allies, get diplomacy, to start cloaking Gato, which would have a possible option to still be in the game, but starting to look really, really, really difficult. And now we start chaining into Wenger. Basically, the two giants are going to clash for these Hoodric cities. We're going to take control of the city. There's probably no way to avoid that. see still some resistance going on here, but it's really futile. See a cloak. Look how long that turn is taking. Managed to kill these. Reveal that cloak. Siege this city. As you can see, saving up all of these units really helped out in the end, because now we managed to pull off not just a 1 siege, not a 2 siege, not a 3 siege, but a 4 siege. And I think that that was kind of what we had to do, because, well, they resign here. The bot kind of does something. I don't know what it did. And yeah, I won the game here. Take a look at that elo. Juicy, juicy elo. I hope you all liked this video. It was kind of different because, well, to be honest, I didn't want to play the game for a couple of days. So I'm taking a short break from playing the game, but that's also because the exam season is currently happening. And I just need to focus on studying. And these videos take a bit shorter time to record and edit. So I hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.